Hi everyone, I'm Jodi Barrows with The Square in a Square. Welcome to our live webinar today, May the 17th of 2024. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I have been in the quilting world for over 40 years. I have the Square in a Square books and products and rulers, and I also am a very small boutique fabric house. So today our main webinar is going to be about the promotion of our new fabric line called Vintage Shadows. I'm so excited about this one because it is a brand new fabric that is a hybrid fabric. What that means is that we've taken the best of the print world of fabric and the best of the batik world of fabric and joined them together to make this lovely group of fabrics that we call Vintage Shadows. Now there's 10 pieces in the collection. There are 5 colors of a vine and berry, and there are 5 colors of a floral. Now the reason why we call it shadows is because batik is like a shading or a watercolor or a shadow. And when batik fabric is made, it is made in one color sequence and then a shading of that. And batik fabric is made in small batches. It is not made in large batches like a print of thousands of yards. So that is great for me, being a small fabric house and being just a little boutique fabric house. Now the other thing is that in the print world, you get lots of different colors on it. Well, let's just look at what we have here. So let's look at a regular print. So this is a regular print fabric. Let me turn it like this. So this is a regular print, and this one is what we call the 1790 floral. This is one that I did several years ago, and you can see how it has all of the layers of color on it. It does have the shading or the marbling in the back, and then all of these different colors are printed on it in layers. And when you look at print fabric, you'll see how they have little buttons on them. And you can't have more than 18 buttons of color on your fabric, and that shows you all of the different colors that are used in this print. Now when you do a batik fabric, you cannot do all of these different layers of color. You can see here this black one underneath, how it is shadings of the black. It goes from a gray to like the charcoal. This piece of fabric and this piece of fabric is the same design. It's the 1790 floral. Now we call it 1790 because this is one of the very first prints that was made here in the United States. It was made in the year 1790 or in some of those years of the 1790s. It was when America, the USA, first started printing fabric. We were able to have the machines. Sam Slater is the guy that got our fabric houses up and rolling back many years ago. And so this is a vintage design of the floral, and so that's where we get our name vintage on the fabric. And then because it's a batik, not a print, then it's a batik-like, then it's all done in the shadings.
It's not batik.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's not a batik.
Yeah, it's not a batik. It's a hybrid. It's a look-alike. It doesn't feel like a batik. We've taken the best of the batik world and the best of the print world and put them together to make the hybrid. So what we like about the batik fabric is the shading and the deep rich colors. So that's what we have. What we like about the print world is that it's soft and easy to handle, and it feels good. Okay, so now that we've described the hybrid fabric, let's go in and look. Now remember, if you have any questions as we go along, then make sure that you put that in the comment section. And remember, you can go back and watch this video over and over. And as I go in and show different groupings of the fabrics and the colors of how they work together in this line of Vintage Shadows, and I'm going to take some of our current fabrics that we have from some of our other lines and show you how those colors mix in with our new Vintage Shadows, okay? All right, so We have 5 in the vine and we have 5 in the floral. So let's look down here and let's look at the 5 colors. Now remember, you can screenshot anytime you want so that you can go back in and look at your colors and make your choices. Now as you're looking at these are the 5 that are the vine. This one is called the red. This one is the tobacco. This one is black. This one is gold. And this one is dirt. So that's how you'll find it on the website. You can go right to our website of squareandasquare.com, and you can just put in the search bar sale or fabric or vintage shadows, and
Shadow is the
or just
easiest
one word shadow is great to put in the search bar, and it will take you to all of that. And I'll give you the details on the pricing and the promotion on all of that here in a few minutes. But these are the 5 that are the vine and berries. And with my hand here, you can kind of see the size of the design. And I think all of these on my monitor where I'm looking, all of these are showing up very true to color. Now, all of your monitors can show things just a little bit different. If you have some of our other fabrics, you know that we have the deep, rich colors of the 1800s. And those of you that have already gotten some of your fabric, we've already been shipping for about 2 weeks to our Premium Club members, and many of them are watching today. So any of you that's already gotten your fabric, or maybe you saw it in person at the retreat, you can make any comments in the comment section to help those that are new to us, or those that are just wanting a little bit more information from the actual consumer that has it in their hand. Now, when you purchase something online, there is a huge, huge trust issue. So I do my very, very best to let you know all of the different details that I can, because you are buying something online, and I want you to be able to trust the quality of the fabrics, the steadfastness of it, the coloring. You know, this is not just a one-time deal. I've been doing fabric for like 20 years, and so that trust on what you're getting and the reputation of your fabrics are key and very, very important when you don't get to see it on a shelf or touch it and look at it. So I'm always very cautious of that, of making sure that you guys can trust what you're getting. Now, one reason why I started designing fabric all those years ago is because I wanted to be able to have the fabric I needed for my kits and my quilts and my classes and my quilt shows and all of that. And then also, I just wanted to be able to have the colors that I love, that I like to work with, and be able to give that to my customers and to the consumers. So let's look now at the florals. So in the florals, we have the black, and this is the 1790 floral. We have, now this one is called dirt, but it's a little bit more yellow and golden than this one in dirt. Now when you look at the very background of it, it is the dirt, and that's how it gets its name, but it does have a little bit more goldy and yellow to it than this one being dirt. And we have the blue. I just love, love, love the blue. And then we have the beautiful red. Now on my monitor, it is showing up a little bit more pink than what it really is. This right in here is showing up a little bit more pink on my monitor. It is more blended in real life than what I'm seeing on the monitor. And then we have this beautiful one right here that I have over in a different section. If we could switch to the other camera, please. And then this one here is the gray, and I'll bring it down and show you more of it and the different colors that go with it here shortly. But those are the 5: the gray, the red, the blue, this one being dirt, and then the black. So now let's look here and look at these together so that you can start looking at what goes together and what values just really have a great contrast and show up. Now, of course, this floral one here, the black one, this one you need a lot of, because you're going to be able to use it as setting squares. Think about the black floral as you're using it for a setting square. Just how beautiful a large piece of that is. Or if you're doing side setting triangles, you can use it depending on the values of what you put it with. There's just a million different ways you can use this. And so I don't think you can order too much of this one. This is one that I think you'll really use a lot. And think how beautiful it will be on the back of a quilt. Just all of this lusciousness here on the back of the quilt. So now let's look at the one that we call dirt. This dirt one is really, really pretty. Now when you design fabric, the first thing you see is you see the print on your computer screen when you're going through and doing the colors. And we work with the computer screen and the colors back and forth with the mill. And then when we think we have it all right, then that's when we get the actual piece of fabric in our hand. And that is called a strike off. And then you can also make changes from there. But this one here was the very first one I saw on the screen when I got the hybrid of all of the fabric sent to me. And I just thought, wow, 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 this is gorgeous. And yes, I want to do this. And let's look at the other colors that they have with it. So all of these golds, these browns, the greens, the reds, all of those are going to go with this one. Just so beautiful. Once again, all of these florals will make great setting squares. And those of you that like to do a lot of quilting in your setting squares, you can still show off that quilting inside one of these large setting squares. Now, when you cut this one up in small pieces, it's actually going to show up as a light or a medium. And I'm going to show you one of the quilts that we've already made with this one and talk to you about how it shows up as a light in the quilt quite a bit. In fact, let's just go up here to this one and let's look at this one. You want me to move it, or can you show a little bit of it? Okay, this one is one that we call Moonlight Star, and this is one that we're teaching during Quilt Club Week, and I'll tell you more about it later. But I want you to see here these pieces right here. This is from that floral that we call the dirt, and I want you to see how it shows up light. It's going to show up as light pretty much 99.9% of the placement in your quilt. So remember that when you're cutting your pieces and you're getting ready to design a quilt. So this one is just really, really pretty. And let's look at the vines that go with it, which of the vines are great accessories with it. Of course, the dirt one goes great with it. You can see the dirt here in the background. The gold vine is just exquisite with it. It's a must to have with it. Of course, the black vine is always great to go with these rich fall colors. And this one here is the tobacco. This is the most beautiful brown I think I've ever seen. And with the shading of the hybrid of the batik and print together, it is just really, really luscious. And then this one is the red. Now, I did not put any of the red up in the quilt I just showed you of Moonlight Star because I wanted it to have more of this glowing look of a autumn moon. But this one would certainly go with this one and be very, very pretty with it anywhere you wanted to put it. Now, there are some of our past fabrics that go great with this one, and we'll talk about those here in a moment. This greenish tobacco here is just can't get enough of that. And then here we have it in the blue, kind of a midnight sky, kind of like a cloudy sky with the depths of the blue, and then of the chrysanthemum and the flowers that we have on here, and then the little black vine. So when you look at the blue, of course, the dirt goes with it great. The gold is great. The black is good. The tobacco is just wonderful with this one. The tobacco with these, this one of the dirt and this one of the blue, and the next one I'm going to show you of the red are a must. And don't hesitate, get a lot of this. This one's going to be sold out very, very quickly. And then we have the red. And I think with the correct placement and the correct pattern that the red would go with this one in, like I said, in the right location. Now the next one that we have is the red one. And with the red one, to me, the best ones that go with it are the tobacco. And you'll see a couple of quilts where we've used these two together already. Red is my favorite color, so those are some of the first quilts we got made out of the new fabric. And then, of course, the black vine always goes nice with it. The gold is very good. and the dirt is also a great one to go with it. So there's 5 of the vines: red, tobacco, black, gold, and dirt. And there's 5 of the florals, the 1790 florals. We have the red and the blue, the gold, the dirt, and then the black. So these are the ones that are on sale, and these 5 and these 5 are the vintage shadows. So I'm going to tell you about our promotion that we have. Now, normally when people get new fabric in, they do a promotion to tell you about it, but you have to pay regular price. They do not put in their promotion to where you can get it at a lesser price or on a sale price. So I'm going to tell you what we have. So we have 1 yard bundles, so that means you're going to get 1 yard of each of them, so that's 10 yards, 1 yard of the 5 vines and 1 yard of the 5 florals. It's normally $149.50, so we're just going to round it up and say $150. You can get it for $125. That's a savings of $25 on this brand new fabric. And there is a button on the website where you can go in and just hit 1 yard bundles, and that will give you a 1 yard piece of the 10 pieces, okay? Now we also have a special that is the 2 yard bundles. So that means 2 yards of each of the vines, 2 yards of each of the florals, so 10 different pieces of fabric, 2 yards each, so that's 20 yards of fabric. Of course, it's normally $300, and you can get it for $250. That's a savings of $50. That's a lot. The $25, the $50, all of these are really tremendous savings. And every time we get a new fabric line in, we do a promotion like this to where we give you the best price that we're going to have on it. And it's always the best time to get it is when we do our promotion and our debut and our launching of that fabric. Then we also have a button that you can push for the 3 yards. That's normally $448. You can get it for $375, and that's a savings of $75. That's a lot of yardage of fabric that you're getting free. And then we also have a button for the 5 yards. So that's normally $750, $747, that you can get for $625. That's a $125 savings. That's a lot of yardage of fabric. Now, the other way that you can order your fabric is you can go in and a la carte pick and choose the ones that you want. And if you do that, the sale prices start at 3 yards. So the 3 yard bundles, the 3 yard pieces and the 4 yard pieces are, I don't know if I have that on here. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't. You do get a sale price on the 3 yards and the 4 yard pieces, and you can order them a la carte. I don't have here what the savings or what the price is, but you can see that on the website. So the 3 and 4 yards, you can order a la carte, and those are certain promotion prices. Then when you start with 5 yards and up, that's where you get the best savings. So you can order a 5 yard of this, a 6 of that, a 8 of that, a 10 of that, you know, just pick and choose. And anything that's 5 yards and up of one piece, then you're going to get your best savings. So now let's talk about quantities of fabrics and what you can do with a 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, and so on. Because when you do go to like a shop hop or a quilt shop or a quilt show or even a promotion online like this, you kind of need to have an idea of how much fabric should I get of that gorgeous piece that's at a wonderful price. I don't want to miss it and pass it up. So when you're working with a 3 yard piece, usually I buy, when I go shop hopping and looking for fabric, I will usually buy between 3 and 5 yards. And the reason why I do that is because I'm not boxed or painted into a corner when I'm down the road and I'm working on a quilt and I want to use that fabric that I bought. And when I bought it, I didn't necessarily know what I was going to do with it or have a quilt in mind. So let's talk about borders. If you're doing borders, and these numbers I'm going to give you are for like a full to a queen, a small queen to a full, kind of an average quilt. With a 3-yard piece, you can cut a border the length of that fabric. So in 3 yards, that's 108 inches going by the length. So that's a pretty big, you know, length for a border. Now also, in a 3-yard piece, you can not only cut your borders and cut them the length of the fabric instead of cutting the short, you know, 40 to 45 inches and then piecing them together. Also, the way the fabric is woven, the fabric really is more suited to do a border when you do the length of the fabric instead of the short. So that'll give you plenty for a border. Now, if you're thinking about sashing and you're thinking about like a normal 2-inch strip for sashing on this normal size of quilt, you're going to need at least 2 yards. So if you're thinking that this is going to be sashing and a border, then you want to think about maybe a 5-yard piece out of that same one. If you're doing just sashing with it, then a 2-yard piece would be good. If you're wanting to put something, maybe just a tiny little strip in a border and put it in your blocks, then a 3 to 5-yard piece is great for that. If you're thinking about a background and there's a lot of background, then you want to think about a 5-yard piece of fabric. So anything that I think is a basic or a background, I'm going to buy 5 yards of it. That way I can use it in my block and not worry about what size of quilt I'm making with it and not go hunting for more of that little background piece of fabric that I needed because I didn't buy the 5-yard pieces of. Sometimes when I go into a shop, there's maybe like, you know, 2 yards to 5 yards left on a bolt, and I'll just get the rest of that bolt. And anytime I have gotten that end of bolt that's smaller than the 3 yards, I'm always kind of boxed in and have to really think about where I'm going to put that in a quilt and how much of it and I'm going to use. So to me, that 3 yards and up is really where you want to be. Now, if you like to do lots of fabrics in your quilts, then you can get away with the fat quarters and the 1/2 yards and the 1 yards and the 2 yards, because it's like you're grouping all of your darks together. And so, you know, with those smaller pieces, you have lots of dark to go into the dark places of the quilt, or lots of different pieces of background or medium or so on. Now, when it's a piece of fabric that I know I'm going to use in a lot of quilts over and over again, for example, in this one up here, our Crown of Thorns, this is our tattered and torn fabric, and this one is the darker one that we call, let's see, what do we have? We have tan and dirt, is that, or dirt and mud? No? Tan and dirt? Okay, so this one is dirt, and it's the darker one. So like when this fabric was brand new and we did our promotion, you know, really 10 to 20 yards of it is not too much to have, because it's one that you're going to use in a quilt over and over again. And I have some backgrounds I'll show you later that we have in stock so that you can see those. So when you get an opportunity to buy backgrounds, and it's one that you love and you know you're going to use it in multiple quilts, then take advantage of those sales. Now also, not only on the backgrounds, but these that I call basics that can blend and be in so many different projects, then really that 10-yard piece is not too much to have. If you're making a big quilt, then you can get like 2 out of it. If you're making smaller quilts, obviously you can get more. So let's look down here at our florals and our vines, and let's talk about which ones that I would get the biggest piece of fabric I could, because those are ones that you're going to use over and over again. And of course, our vine dirt is one of those. I highly recommend that you get a 10-yard piece of that one, the black floral, and then also the black vine. And then this tobacco. This tobacco is winding up in every quilt that we are making, and you can see how it goes with every one of these, as well as the dirt vine and the black floral and the black vine. And this one is pretty much winding up in every one of the quilts too. Notice how it goes with the red, it goes with the blue, it goes with the dirt, and then of course any of these for any of the fall quilts are just going to be beautiful. This looks like autumn fire Just this one, this one, this one together. Just beautiful fall quilts. Okay, let's look at, do we have any questions? Nope. Okay, let's look at some of the different combinations of our new vintage fabric with some of the other ones that we've had. So I want to bring some of our reds in. So here you can see some of the reds that we have. And of course, those reds go with our black floral and our black vine. Even our dirt would go with all of these really well. This is a red vintage floral. This is the red and dirt check. This is from our patriotic line. It's got American flag on it. But as you can see, it pretty much works for a basic and a solid too. The flag is not real dominant on there. And then this one is called our red fuzzy leaf. There's a tiny little leaf that's kind of fuzzy on there, and you can see it and how it goes with the black floral or the black vine. We also have, that goes well with all of these, we have the black check, we have the black sticks, and we have just our black tattered and torn, just kind of our basic black tattered and torn. So you could use this with any of these and it would be wonderful. Okay, while we have these reds out, let's jump over here to our red piece. And I want you to see how nice all of our reds go with the red 1790 floral. So this again is our fuzzy leaf, our flag, our check, our red vintage. All of those look great, and put some of the gold with it and some of the black with it. And have a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric quilt. Now also with our two blacks that we have of our vine and our floral, I want you to see some of our diamond dot that we had from our Paradise collection. So this is called the diamond dot. It comes in, I think you can get it in 6 colors. There's a yellow that I'm not showing, and then there's also, this is the aqua, the orange, the green, and the pink and the purple. So all of those look great with both of those blacks. So you can add those to these if you already have them. So let's look at this one that is called the dirt. Let's look at some of the other fabrics and colors that just look so great with it. So this is our tobacco vine, like you see here. And then of course our floral. And then here you have kind of a poison green. That's really pretty. We have our green fuzzy leaf. We had that one in the red. Now this one is called our gold stick. And I want you to notice how the gold stick and the tobacco vine are just really pretty, and just how well all of those go together. This one is darker. It's going to give you a darker look in your fabric, when this one gives you just a little bit more of a medium look in your fabric. But look how nice all of those play together and look. Now this one is our vintage stick. So this is the stick, and stick, just in different colors. And I want you to look at this. This one is called red on the website, the sticks. And I want you to look how it picks up that. So look at those 3 together right there, just how beautiful that is. Just to make a 3-color quilt, just how pretty. If you needed to add another little spark, you could go in with your green fuzzy leaf, or even your green stick. All of those just look really super beautiful together. Now some other ones you can put in is our bow tie. All of these look really nice together. And then this one right here is the kind of a little flower floral. So screenshot that if you need to. So let's look at this one we call Moonlight Star. This is going to be one that we're going to teach during Quilt Club Week, and I'll tell you guys about Quilt Club Week here shortly and give you some details. And we do have a special offer for our Quilt Club Week and for our Premium Club that we're going to tell you about in this video also. Here you can see the bow tie, the floral, the little orange floral, the gold, the black check, the black stick, and the black floral, and the black vine, and then the dirt we've used for the background. And then in our little Milky Way star for our setting, we've used the oranges and the gold, and the center for our black. And then we're going to do some more Milky Way stars, all in black, around for the border. So this one is one that's a work in progress, and it will be one that we teach during Quilt Club Week and have the pattern for during Quilt Club Week. So it's nice when you can see how the fabrics look when they're all sewn together. Okay, let's see what our next color is that we have going. So this one here is, this shows the backgrounds that we have in stock. This one is what we call the beige check. This one is the yellow fuzzy leaf, and I'm going to show you some quilts today that use this one. It is one of the most wonderful backgrounds to use. We just really, really love it. You can see how pretty it is with this one. And then this is our dirt, like we had in the crown of thorns behind me. This one is our tan. You can see it's a little bit lighter. This one is our stick. So it's like these that are, I'm sorry, it's our floral. So it's like, well, nope, that is our stick. Okay, so it's our dirt stick. So you can see how it's this little design, but it's all done in the lights and the background. So just a little bit of texture for your background. And then this one is the floral. So it's like this one and the green. It just has a tiny, tiny little flower and a little leaf in it that you can see in there. Nope, I'm sorry, it's this one. This one, it's so faint it's hard to see. But this one and this one, see that tiny little flower? You can see that tiny little flower. And it has just that little arc in it. So a real mottled background. A little bit more than this one here that is the darkest of the two tattered and torns. You can see how this one is a little bit mix of both of those. And this one is the floral. So those are the backgrounds we have that you can get to go with any of your pieces. And then let's just look for a moment how they look with our florals. So with our blacks and our red and our blue and our dirt, just look really nice. So here is our blue, and this little coppery color that's in here, I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but it's just so, so pretty. So it has the blue as our background, a little bit of the black vine that goes through, and then it has, I guess, our tobacco color here on our flower, and it's in different shades. So obviously our tobacco vine is really good for it, and your gold is going to be really nice. And really the colors that blend with the blue are also ones that are going to blend with your red. So all of the different ones can go with all of those. Now there's one floral I haven't shown you, but just a quick peek, and let's look at it. It's kind of in a value of its own. So this one is the one that we call gray. So this is the gray floral, and it's got this beautiful orchidy color on here, and it's just really an exquisite piece of fabric. Here you can see the black check. We've got a yard crew here. So here is the black check, the black stick, the black tattered and torn. Here is our black floral. The black vine. And we have a quilt that we're working on right now where we have used the black vine and the floral and our gray diamond dot in it, and it will be a kit. All of the quilts we're going to show you will be kits for Quilt Club Week. Now the diamond dots were ones that we currently have and previously have had. The black and the gray are pretty much sold out. We do have some that we'll be doing kits with for the black and the gray, but you can still get the pink and the purple and the other colors I showed earlier. But if you're looking for these on the website, you won't be able to find the black and the gray. But if you have those in your stash from our promotion with Paradise, then get some of this to go with it and make some beautiful, beautiful stuff. So we have in the little quilt, if you're in Premium Club, you've seen Sherry post it on the Facebook page, and it's a star where we fussy cut this for the center of the star, and then we have gray. We've used the black vine on it for the points and the inside. We've used the diamond dot in it, and it's just so, so pretty, just gorgeous, very elegant. And then don't forget about your checks. Your stick looks really pretty with it, and your black tattered and torn.
You didn't show those three very long.
You want me to leave those on there longer?
Because I was moving around trying to.
Okay, leave these here just a moment longer. I'll let you look at those just a hair bit more for all of those. Hope you're taking notes. Anytime we do our webinars, take notes and do some screenshots. So we'll leave that there for a moment. Okay, so let's look at what some of these, now I want you to think about these vines as like basics. These are like bread and butter basics. I want you to look at how they just go with so many other things. Now this is our flaming bud that we had in our first vintage collection, and I want you to look at the dirt, the tobacco, the green fuzzy, the red check, the gold stick, how all of these are just so, so pretty with your flaming bud, and this one is called gold flaming bud. And this one is the black flaming bud. So look at the dirt with it. Look how beautiful this red one is, this red vine. Now this red vine is going to be sold out really quick. So if you're wanting this one, don't hesitate. It's already down in the yardages. People have just been sucking that one up. And then here is the black vine that goes really good with your flaming bud. Of course, your tobacco goes great with it, and your gold stick. So that's a great color combo. Take a screenshot of that one. And then here is another combo. So in this one, we've used our dirt floral. You can see it here. We've used our dirt vine, the gold vine, and look at this luscious flaming bud that is the dirt one. The tobacco, the green, and of course your green fuzzy would go with all of that too. So just wonderful combo, however you want to work it. It's just really, really pretty. Okay, so that's all of the color combos that I wanted to show. So now let's look at some quilts that we've got. We have about 5 more quilts in the making that we'll be showing very, very soon. And let's talk a little bit about our calendar and what Square and a Square is doing from now to the end of the year. So the first thing I want to do is I want to tell you about Premium Club. For those of you that are new about Premium Club. Premium Club is a subscription website. You can pay for a year or you can do monthly. And in Premium Club, for the year, it's $197, or you can do monthly of $27. Now, in Premium Club, you get a, starting in January, you get a spring semester, you get a fall semester, and you get Quilt Club Week. All of those are all included in your Premium Club, and of course that's the best value, is to join that. You get first dibs on the fabric, you get first dibs on everything, plus you get all of this teaching. Now this spring semester we just finished just a couple of weeks ago, and what we did in the spring semester, and you know, all of this is of course online, it's in there, you can watch them live or you can watch them later, you can go back and watch them over and over and over. Now there's over 30 hours of teaching, and I had a little piece of paper here that had the details. Here it is. So just in our spring semester that we finished this year, we had there's 94 pages here that you got for free that were your patterns, and your patterns were a 6-inch block or a 12-inch block, so you could choose the size that you wanted to do. We did 35 blocks, over 30 hours of teaching, and we took the Farmer's Wife book and we learned how to adapt the patterns over to the Square and a Square system. Now I'm not going to show you anything about the Square and a Square today, but there's thousands of hours of videos where you can go back in and learn about the Square and a Square and how we do it. We do the Square and a Square, we do the science of patchwork, and we do overcutting. And I just want to tell you just a couple of things that we've gotten just in the last few days. So this one is a text or an email from one of our Premium Clubs. So I always think it's great when you can hear from the actual consumer that is participating in our teaching, in our clubs, and then also has used the fabric. So this one says, I recently joined Premium Club and have just gotten started with the Farmer's Wife videos. So that's the one from this spring with the Farmer's Wife. I just finished the Hovering Hawks lesson in Workshop 3, and I loved the Stretch Star, and I would use that one again and again in other quilts. I'm really enjoying this series since I've had the book for years and never did anything with it. And I don't know if she's talking about Farmer's Wife or the Square and a Square reference book. But she says, I'm really enjoying this series since I've had the book for years and never did anything with it. I've been watching your videos for several years and have purchased your rulers and books. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I join Premium Club sooner? And almost every text or email we get has that sentence in it. Why didn't I join Premium Club sooner? So this next one here is one that I just got a couple of weeks ago. It says, I just want to thank you both, meaning Steve and I. My husband Steve, a retired pharmacist, does all of our tech stuff for us and makes it online for us. Without Steve, it wouldn't matter how much I taught. You guys couldn't get it. So we are a team that do this for you. I just want to thank you both for everything you do to make the Premium Club over the top. I encourage people to join. I tell them, you can't afford not to join. Prior to joining your team, I wasn't finishing my quilts, and I didn't understand the science of patchwork and how it affected my work. And I think that was something in the Farmer's Wife that really the light bulb came on for people, is that they realized what this science of patchwork is. And just in a quick nutshell to tell you what it is, it's like when you're supposed to have a 6.5-inch cut block and you don't, you got 35 blocks and they're 35 different sizes, how do we get them to all fit together? or when you're piecing a block and certain sections or units don't turn out because of the human element we call the ppms, your personal private measurements. How do I get what I have to work with all of the others? So that's the science of patchwork. And when we were doing the sashings in Farmer's Wife, everybody was just like, oh my goodness, how come I didn't know this before? So here she says, the light bulb has come on during this pattern adapting class, and I'm beginning to look at quilts and figuring out what they are composed of. You're teaching a suburb, and I love how you explain everything in detail. I'm using the leader and ender now, as you have taught, and no longer have machine mess-ups at the beginning and end of my work. I love, love, love your fabrics you create and the whole program. I watched the videos over and over. Like you say, every time you watch a video, you learn something new. I'm so thankful for your system and finding you on YouTube. I made so many beautiful quilts that in the past I wouldn't have started or finished. And then this one right here is this lady, one of our semesters that we did, we had the fabric line of the Transcontinental Railroad, which you can see on the website. We still have a few pieces of it left. And she made the Transcontinental Railroad quilt, and she was so excited because it was awarded Best of Show at the Columbia River Quilt Guild. And so that's exciting. Our students are putting things in shows, and they're winning ribbons, and they're feeling confident and good with their work. So that's what Premium Club is all about. It's about learning the square and square system, about learning how to overcut, how to deal with our personal private measurements, how to do recognize and how to work with the science of patchwork so that our work turns out better. No matter what level you are, you're going to get better work. I always say that when you learn what I teach, you can become the piecer that you've always wanted to be and that you've always dreamed about. So that's a little bit about Premium Club. And so it's never too late or too early to join, because everything's online and you get to go in and watch at your own convenience and watch over and over again. Now, the thing about taking an in-person class is that you show up for class and you have an hour or 6 hours, whatever the class is, and you try to soak up everything. And after about 2 hours, your brain starts to just kind of download, go down. You don't have that power and energy like you did. And so you maybe miss something that the teacher has. Or when you get home and 2 weeks later you get back to the project. I had a lady email me or text me just this week from a kit from probably 20 years ago, and she wanted help with it, you know. But when you have those classes online, you get to go back in and watch them over again and see what the teacher said. You don't have to just be there and hope that you can see what she's doing and learn what you're doing. Our cameras are right there on top of everything so that you can see every stitch and every cut of it all. So definitely go in and join Premium Club. Now the next thing I want to tell you about is Quilt Club Week. So during 2020 and during the pandemic, when no one could go anywhere, there was no quilt shows, and you know the story. I don't have to tell you about everything. Every show kept getting, you know, they kept saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and it just stretched on forever. We didn't get to go to quilt shops. We didn't get to go to our guilds. We didn't get to go to shows. We didn't get to hang out with our fellow quilting buddies. And so I was like, what can we do? So as summer came along, I was like, let's do a quilt show. But how do you do a quilt show online? So what do you do at a quilt show? A quilt show, you go, you look at quilts, you see lectures, you see different demos and from the different vendors as you go along, and you take a class, you do a lecture, you hang out with buddies, and it's all condensed in a day or 3 days or a week, depending on how big the show is and which one you've gone to. So I was like, let's do that. So for Quilt Club Week, it's a dedicated Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everything is online. So you go back in and you watch it at your own pace, your own level, over and over again. And in Quilt Club Week, we have a variety of things. Just like when you go to a quilt show, you have a variety of things. So we have lectures that we've done. Kay and Kathy and Sherry are some of my teachers that do Quilt Club Week with me. So we have lectures, we have quick demos, we have fun little projects, we have big quilts, we have different promotions and samples. We have a dedicated Facebook page so that you can join in on the social aspect. After each class, there's a comment section that you can talk about, and you can talk with other people about that class. Now, when we first did our first one in 2020, it was so fun because we got texts and emails, and I could just see people joining up with their friends and having a good time, and all of that had been taken away from us. So we had a friend or a sister in California, another friend or sister in Canada. They would watch at home on their own devices the class, but they would be on FaceTime with each other or Skype and or WhatsApp, however you live talk to your friends and family, and they could talk about the lecture as it went along and stop and pause and rewind. And so it's really a great way to really get the max out of everything: classes, lectures, seminars, all of that. So Quilt Club Week, we have a very new special that we've never done before. Now, Quilt Club Week is normally $97. So think about if you're joining Premium Club and it's $197, you know, for the whole year of everything. But if you just join Quilt Club Week, it's $97. So you can see how Premium Club is the best value for everything. But if you just join Quilt Club Week, you can go in and join today, and you will get 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and our brand new 2024. That will be the last week of September. Now you can go in and you can pay $15 to start and then pay $7.97 a month, or you can pay the $77 and all of that is for a year. Or you can go in and buy Premium Club and have all of it. So whichever way that you want to do it, you can do it, but you can start today. You don't have to wait. You can go in and watch all the Quilt Club weeks and then be ready and prepared for the new one the last week of September. And then for a few weeks before Quilt Club Week, we always do a lot of lives to help do a promotion for Quilt Club Week, but those are some live and they're free classes and seminars where we show you different things building up to Quilt Club Week. So don't miss out on the fun. Go in right now and sign up for Quilt Club Week or Premium Club, and then also don't miss out on the promotion of the fabric. Now, I'm not sure when the Quilt Club Week special will end, but it's probably just for like 2 weeks, mid-June, something like that. And then on the fabric, I'm not sure where it's going to end, but you know, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, but I really think it's going to be sold out. Okay, question.
No, just a comment. To sign up for the clubs, go to the websites at the top. There's a top.
Go to the website.
Banner.
At the top, there's a banner. It's squareandasquare.com, and you can go in and see the details and sign up for Premium Club or Quilt Club Week.
And I'll put a link in the.
And he's going to put a link in the comment section there. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay. All right. So don't miss out. Limited time on the fabric and limited quantities. So with this new hybrid fabric, I could order the yardage that I wanted to order. I didn't have to order thousands of yards like we do with a normal print. So I ordered so that all of it would sell out. So don't delay, don't wait. We will have a few kits that we'll build for the quilts as we move up to Quilt Club Week. They will not be on special. So as you look at the quilts, write down the fabrics and make sure you order the yardage of them. And of course the best price is starting at the 3 yards, but some of those you definitely want 5 yards and more of those basics and backgrounds. Okay, so let's look at this particular quilt here behind me. This one here is called Crown of Thorns, and you will find it in the Diamond book. So also another thing is that when you join Premium Club, that you get a discount on books and rulers if you don't have them. I highly recommend the Diamond book, which we call Volume 2, the main reference book, which is Volume 1, and then the original ruler are the ones that you need. And then like with our spring semester, all of your downloads every week were just provided for you. There's no extra fee for those. In Quilt Club Week, there are some that are provided for you and some that have a charge on them. So you just have to look with the different classes. It depends on how in-depth the pattern is. If it's in depth, then it will have a charge on it, and if it's just info like a handout for class, then you can just download that PDF. Make sure you get a notebook so that you can keep all your stuff organized and together. Also, if you're new to Square and a Square, you can go into our website and you can go in and join with an email, and that allows you to get in and watch all the free stuff, because we do have a lot of free stuff too. Just go to the website and sign up with your email. Okay, and some people knew about the fabric sale today because they're on our email list, and so they got notified yesterday that we were doing a live today. So go into the website and sign up with your email at the very least of anything that you do. That way you'll be notified about our all of our promotions, our classes, our free webinars, and so on. Okay, so this one here is called Crown of Thorns. We're going to use some of the diamond shapes in here. These long, thin points come from our diamond shapes. So this right here is one of the diamond options in your diamond book, and it makes this rectangle here. And you can see how it has the big red points, and then it has these long tobacco points. So this is the tobacco vine. This is the dirt, tattered and torn. This is the red floral. And then, of course, the tobacco here, and the gold vine is here. So those are the fabrics. If you have the diamond book, you can go in and look at the yardages with the Crown of Thorns pattern that's in the diamond book. I don't have that with me today to give you, but, and of course, this quilt would be gorgeous enlarged. So here we just have, this is our block right here. So we have little 9 patches in the corner, big 9 patch in the middle, and then just this diamond option right here. This looks like a very intricate quilt to make, but when you know the Square and a Square system and the way that we put blocks together, this quilt becomes very, very simple and easy to do. I am confident that if you know how to thread your sewing machine and you know how to use a rotary cutter, I'm confident that you can make this quilt. Okay? And the other thing is that we have a quilt text hotline, and it's 817-713-2879. And that is a way that you can get in contact with me. Of course, you can email, but if you have questions about, or you're working on it and you need a teacher, you need help, you need someone to say, what does this mean? Or does this look right? Or so on. You can text it and send pictures on that quilt text hotline, 817-713-2879. Yesterday and today, a lady sent me a picture of a quilt that she wanted to make. I did a couple of videos with her yesterday showing her reference book, what pages she needed, how to read the chart for the size and all of that, how to make her block smaller than what was originally written in the pattern. And then today she came back, had another question. I helped her again, and she is on a roll and her sewing machine is humming. So I really love that you do, you know, when you take a class in person, you have access to that teacher to ask them a question during that class. But with our quilting text hotline, you have access to the teacher to ask a question anytime. And we'll help you just as soon as we can. Sometimes I get to you right that day, and sometimes it may be the next day, but we'll get to you just as soon as we can. So this one is called Crown of Thorns. This is one that we're teaching during Quilt Club Week. So if you want to see the video and the visual of how to put all this together, that's one that we're going to teach. And it's just very, very simple and easy to do. Now this one is the Moonlight Star, and this is one that we're going to be teaching during Quilt Club Week. We already talked about the fabrics that were in it, and this will be a pattern that you will purchase because it's an in-depth pattern, not meaning that it's hard or anything like that. It's just that it's got a lot of work in the pattern, so that one will have a charge. You can get the hard copy, or you can do the PDF, the e-download, or whatever you call it. And so this one is the dirt vine, all of the different blacks and the golds that we showed. And this one, the black points, is kind of like the Union Square. It has like 32 points on it. And then just our basic favorite little 8-pointed star with a 4 patch in the middle. And then we're using a Milky Way star setting that's kind of faint because we don't want to take away from the star. But in the borders, we're going to go in and do some solid black Milky Ways. And they're going to kind of stagger, and it's just going to be exquisite. So that's one that will be one of the video classes during Quilt Club Week, and you certainly don't want to miss out on that one. Then let's look at this one here. Now this one is a different fabric collection. This one is the Paradise fabric, and you saw it in the diamond dot. You saw it with the pink and the aqua and the green. And then this one is the stick background. So this is the stick background that we used with our Paradise. And you may look at all of this and think that that's not going to be fun to do, but with the square and a square system, we make it really easy. It's clean work. You're always working with a really clean pieced unit in the way that we do it. And so this is very easy to do, and this is with our diamonds. People said they wanted to learn more diamonds during Quilt Club Week, our students. So we've got some diamonds in here and some diamonds here that we'll be showing you during Quilt Club Week. Now, if you go in and join Quilt Club Week, we have passed those from those other years, 20, 21, 22, 23. We did diamonds in there. So one that we did last year was called Postage Stamp Star. So if you join today, you can go right in there and go to Postage Stamp Star and see how easy it is to get all of these long, thin, and sharp points with those diamond shapes. We start at the very beginning of cutting a strip and going in and cutting it at an angle to get your center diamond, and then how to sew around it with your strips of the square and a square system. It's very detailed, and it starts at the beginning and goes all the way through. It doesn't assume that you know anything, so that's a great one to go in and learn the diamonds from the beginning, and that one is Postage Stamp Star. And then we also have kits for that Postage Stamp Star, so you can check and see what kits we still have available on the website that go with the past years of Premium Club or Quilt Club Week.
I have a question.
Yes. Question, will the Crown of Thorns be in a kit to purchase for Quilt Club Week? Yes, we will have some kits for it, but remember that the kits will be at the regular price. They're not discounted. So on these fabrics, if you want to get them at the discounted price, then just order yardage of it today. Do that. And if you have the diamond book, you can get the yardages, but I don't have that in my head to look at that. Okay, another question? Nope. Okay, so this one is called Bride's Vase, and this is one that we're going to teach during Quilt Club Week. And we did our sample in the Paradise fabric, but I may have some pieces in some of these new ones where we'll show you what it looks like in some others. We try to show you as many different color combos as we can. Some just have the one, but some of them have multiple color combos. And so like in one of our Quilt Club Week classes, so we started filming in April to get all of the classes ready to go, so they're ready for you the last week of September. And what I've started doing this year is that before we teach the class, we do a little lecture where we give you multiple colors, we give you different design options, and we talk about the quilt more in depth, and then we get into the actual making of the quilt. So I really like adding a little bit of a quilt lecture at the beginning of each class, showing you different color combos and different ideas of how you can do it and make it your own, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does. So really excited to teach Bride's Vase for you. And okay, this one. So we have a book. Let's look down here at what I'm going to show them. Okay, so this one is As the Crow Flies, and this was a quilt that we taught in Quilt Club Week last year. And then people wanted, instead of having the star and the bird and having it be fall, they were like, let's do one that is kind of Christmassy. So on this one, we used the reds and the greens and a background, and we did a tree instead of the star, and we did a cardinal instead of just a little blackbird crow. So this one, this now comes with it, and all the people that bought one on the website got this as a download because it came later, but I want you to look at the little quilt that we have made. So in this one you can see that we've used the red floral and we've used the tobacco. And we will have kits for this, but once again, think about this quilt and the crown of thorns. If you're thinking, well, I use a 3 or a 5 yard, well, looky here how we've got this in this quilt and in the crown of thorns quilt. So I think a 5 yard piece of these you will use. So this is the stick one, again, background, the red floral. This is the green fuzzy. And then of course our green stick, which is a little bit more of a poison green. Our 4 patches, our trees, and our little birds, our little cardinals. Now this one we did not make a big one of, and that's, you know, something that I want to remind you guys of is that just because we made the quilt a certain size doesn't mean that you can't change that sizing and make it smaller or larger. Now also with this one it's pretty cool because you can make as many trees or birds as you want. So the birds are kind of tiny. We just use option 3 flying geese and option 4 half square triangles to make them, but there are a lot of pieces. With the science of patchwork and overcutting, it is achievable. Even though it's achievable, you maybe don't want to make 10 for the whole quilt. You maybe just want to make 5, and see how you can just kind of scatter them through the quilt as you want. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 in this little one with I think 5 trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees. So add more trees. You're going to have more trees in your forest than birds anyway, and then make it as big as you want. So I really try to teach to, you know, sew on the quilt as long as you're satisfied. But as soon as you've lost your desire for that quilt, then just have it be that size. Decide to be done with it. Okay, we have a question?
On the bridal vase?
On the bride's vase, yes.
What is the, here, let me turn on my. What is the fabric that's the light pink between the green border and the white diamonds?
Okay, so well, I'll just kind of go through them and let you know. Okay, so this is the purple bird of paradise here, and the pink bird of paradise. This is the green diamond dot. The background is the stick. And then these here are the diamond dot in black and green. And then these that have the little kind of polka dot in it, that one is called flower dot. It comes in pink, purple, and yellow, I think. And then this other one here is the same as the one that has the bird on it, the bird of paradise. And then
So
just the diamond
pink
dots.
paradise is what she was asking
Pink
about.
paradise. So when you cut it up, you just see the pink and the just, you know, some design on it. You don't see that it's a bird. When you look up here, you see the bird in it, but when it's cut up, it's just a pretty piece of fabric. It doesn't matter. So don't focus in on that bird and think you have to fussy cut them or whatever. Just use it like a regular piece of fabric and start cutting and implementing it into the different components of your quilt. So really pretty.
Okay, so
Right.
let's name the quilts that we've gone through, just so everyone can get the names.
Okay, this one is Bride's Vase, and we're teaching it during Quilt Club Week. Option 1, some option 10s, some half square triangles, and option 18 diamond. This one is one that we'll probably teach in just a live session during Quilt Club Week. So during Quilt Club Week, everything is not videoed. We do live sessions during those days. Probably for about 10 days we have live sessions going on. We work really hard during that time. So this will probably be one of the live ones.
And that's called?
And it is a add-on. Well, you don't pay for it, but it comes with this little book right here that is As the Crow Flies. So that's where you can find that pattern. The one underneath here is Crown of Thorns. We're going to teach it during Quilt Club Week. Kits are coming for all of these that you can see. And this one is in the Diamond book, Crown of Thorns. This one is a brand new one. You can't find the pattern yet. It's called Moonlight Star, and it will be one of our special ones for Quilt Club Week, one that I'm teaching. And then I have some more down here I want to show you that I haven't seen yet. So let's put the camera back down on the table. So this one here is a great one if you're new to Square and a Square. We're going to show, this will probably be one of the live classes that we teach either pre-Quilt Club Week or during Quilt Club Week. So here's a block here that's just your black and background, and then your little star block. So we're going to learn just the option 3 flying geese. Now let's look at the fabrics that are here. This is the orange bow tie. This is that yellow fuzzy leaf, and this is the black stick, and this is exquisite. And then also in the Quilt Club Week, you can go in and watch a video on the binding and see this little flange here. We do this a lot in our quilts. We have the shortcut binding tool, and there's a video in there of how to do it. It's super easy. Your flange, this little black strip, and your binding is all done at the same time. It's one step. So wonderful, wonderful. This one we will have kits for, but it'll be, you know, later at the end of the summer when we have all of these.
The binding tool was talked about in Quilt Club Week multiple times.
Yes, we do the binding tool in Quilt Club Week almost every year because it is super cool and easy to do. Now, one of the other classes that Sherry is going to be teaching during Quilt Club Week, Kay and Kathy and Sherry help teach during Quilt Club Week so that we can give you a nice variety of classes. This one is the pineapple quilt, and it is in the regular reference book, the volume 1. Now I want you to notice the background here. It's that yellow fuzzy leaf, and it is just absolutely gorgeous in here. You should have a 10-yard piece of this yellow fuzzy leaf. And then we've used the stick red.
Can you move to another?
Yeah, we've used the red stick here. The black vine, the black check, this is that black flaming bud. So just really, really pretty pineapple on this one. And can you back the camera out a little bit so they can get more of the design? There we go, because the interaction of the blocks. So yeah, so there's the actual block, and then when you do the pineapple with a sashing and a cornerstone, then you get these wonderful interactions right here that really make it unique. So just changing the fabrics, it's amazing how the quilts look so different. So we will have kits for these during Quilt Club Week. And then here it is in the Paradise fabric. So we have the purple diamond dot for the background, the orange bird of paradise, and the green cobblestone. Just really, really pretty, those 3 combinations. And remember, it's just about contrast. You know, it's not like clothes. You wouldn't wear a pair of pants like that and a shirt like that. But when you put them in a quilt and you have that contrast, then it's really, really wonderful. So here is another one, and you can get the this one that I'm going to show you. We already have kits for these on the website. So this one is the pineapple in the patriotic with our American eagle, and then our reds and blues, our dirt flag for our background. Really a pretty quilt, and we do have some kits on these. Now this blue check and this red check, I don't think we have any on the website. It's gone, but it is in the kit. So if you want this, limited numbers because of those 2 fabrics. So make sure you get in there and do it. Get that. Now this one is also one of our new ones, and this will probably be taught pre-Quilt Club Week to build up to the week. We've got some flying geese over here for a border, an option 2, which means you have your square in the middle, you sew around 1 time, 2 times, and then just our option 1s. Really a pretty quilt, and then this is our floral background. Okay, some questions.
What extra process is applied to your fabric to make it handle so nice? Very nice.
So sounds like that customer has already gotten some of our fabric that it handles so nice. So when I first started designing fabric over 20 years ago, that was the main thing that I wanted. I wanted the handling of the fabric to just be luscious, and I wanted the colors to be very steadfast. I didn't want to have to worry about, you know, after I put this piece of fabric in this quilt, is it gonna be easy to work with, and are the colors going to stay where they're supposed to stay? And so that was really my main thing, because with other fabric companies, you don't know the process of how it's made, and so you don't know how it's going to react. Is it going to shrink? Are the colors going to bleed? You know, all of that. So it's finding the right meal and the right people who will do it for you the way that you want. And it's just the process and making it, and then also starting out with the right grade goods. That it's not gray, it's G-R-E-I-G-E, and that's the cotton fabric. That is what you use, and then you print your colors and designs on it. So it's finding the right meal and the right people, and I'm very grateful and thankful for our meal that they're willing to work with just a small fabric house like me and a little boutique designer that does it all on her own. We're the little red hen. So we design the fabric, we get it made, we pay for it, we get it shipped here, we roll it, we cut it, we design the quilts. So from beginning to end, it's one that we do.
On the pattern, what pattern? Where's that pattern located?
This one is, it was a pattern that I had a long time ago. So if you have one of the old books, it would have been in the border book if you have one of the old books. But the border book has not been available for many years, probably 15, 18 years. But it will be a new single pattern that we'll offer during Quilt Club Week. And then eventually, I'm going to be working on this shape right here. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. It's probably a year, but I have so many things to do. But this wonderful little shape right here, where you have, it's like a flying goose shape, and then you can do lots of different things inside of that. It's on my list to do a book and make charts and all of that, so that you can do them at any size. And there'll be at least 4 different options, like option 8, option 10, option 14, option 13, that you can use here in the middle. If you're familiar with Square and a Square and you have the books, then you can figure out what I'm talking about. If you're brand new, that's just, you're not going to have a clue. But it's when you have a flying goose and you get to put a bunch of stuff inside that bigger triangle unit. And so there is I have not started on it. I have not drawn my patterns out. I haven't written anything. I haven't made a quilt, nothing. So don't wait on it, because it's down the road. But
we're going to have that pattern.
But the pattern, yeah, we'll have the individual pattern for it at Quilt Club Week.
Okay. That's all
Any other questions? Okay, let's look at this last little quilt down here, and then if you have any questions, get them in, because we're about ready to wrap it up. Okay, so this one is the actual quilt for the little book I was showing you that was called As a Crow Flies, and the crow and the star. This one is already in Quilt Club Week of last year of 23, and then the new little bird one that's up here behind me is one that we'll be doing a live class on, a little mini class on it for Quilt Club Week. Okay, so just to kind of recap, go to the website squareinasquare.com and purchase your vintage shadow new hybrid fabric. I don't know how long the sale is going to be. I'm going to say a week, 10 days or whatever. We're getting really low in the quantities, so don't delay. And if we start getting, there's 10 of them, so if we get several of them sold out, then we'll probably just close down the sale and say we're done with that. So week, 10 days, 2 weeks max. Also on the Quilt Club Week sign up, if you sign up for the $77, that's just going to be for about 2 weeks, or this special $15 with $7.97 a month, that's only going to be available for about 2 weeks. And then as we get closer to Quilt Club Week, it'll go. And let's see, what else? Don't forget about the Quilt Text Hotline, 817-713-2879, when you need help with a quilt. And the reason why I love having that hotline is because I can make a video and send it to you. Instead of just telling you what to do, I can show you how to use your book and how to, whatever you need to get it done. And you can send me a picture and a video, so we get to talk back and forth. Very good. Okay, last minute questions?
Do you have any idea on a calendar? You were mentioning doing a calendar.
Okay, so we have our fabric promotion going on here for the next little bit, and then as summer goes along, we'll have different little webinar classes as we go, and that's why it's important to be on the email list. That way you can get an email notification of it so that you can watch them live and not miss out on anything. We're also going to have kind of like in the bulk sale warehouse, whatever, kind of a warehouse clean out set promotion later this summer. And then about mid-August is when we start ramping it up real hot and heavy for the fall quilting season of lots of webinars and Quilt Club week, and then our fall class for premium clubs. So fall is really crazy because we have all of this Quilt Club week stuff going on. We used to do our fabric promotion during that time, and it was just too much overload to do the fabric promotions, the kits, the build up for Quilt Club week, and then our premium club semester starts. So that's why we try to do our fabric promotion now, and then that way you guys can already have the fabric in your hand. Because we don't even get it on a bolt when the fabric comes. It comes on a big tube, 45-inch tube, and we have to put it on the machine and roll it onto the bolts and then cut it. The machine will cut like the 3 yards and up, but the smaller cuts of 1 and 2 yards, we have to do those by hand just like anybody. So if you're ordering those bundles, there is a little bit more of a delay of you getting it than if you order the 3 yards and up, because those have to individually be done. And then Quilt Club week. So that's pretty much where we're headed. Make sure you get on the email list so you won't miss any of the promotions or the free webinars.
Do you have any thoughts on doing Crossroads in the vintage shadow fabric?
Crossroads is a quilt, and mine is at the quilter right now. I was going to pick it out and show it to you. Crossroads is the quilt that we did last semester in Premium Club. It was our fall semester. It was a beautiful, beautiful quilt, and asked if I was going to do it in the new vintage. I would love to do it in the new vintage, but I don't really have time to go backwards unless one of my sample makers makes it. I don't, because I have so much forward that I have to do. It's hard to go back. But let's see. The fall quilt for Premium Club I am working on in the Paradise, and my plan is to have the whole quilt done so that you'll see it at the beginning of our fall semester, and then the samples and the work that I do live during the fall semester, do it in the vintage, the new vintage. That's my goal. We'll see if we get there. I need to clone me. I need to have the fabric design Jodi, the teacher Jodi, the...
Can you take that one down? They want to see behind that.
Crown of Thorns.
Crown of Thorns.
Crown of Thorns right there. So it uses the red floral, the gold vine, the tattered and torn dirt, the tobacco here, red floral. Now you can see how when the red floral's cut up, you don't necessarily see a flower in it, and these are pretty big pieces.
And there wasn't one on the crow flies that's on the table, is there? Not a quilt under it?
Yeah. Oh, this one I haven't shown, so I do need to show this one.
But there's not one under there.
This one is from the vintage here, the black bow tie.
And what is it called?
Eclipse Star.
From?
It's a new one. So the pattern.
Star coming.
Yeah, the pattern's coming for Quilt Club week.
Difference between Quilt Club week and Premium Club.
Difference between Quilt Club week and Premium Club. Okay, Premium Club is it's the spring semester that goes January to end of April, and it's the fall semester that starts sometime August, September, and goes to holiday time. Each semester is
And
either
then we have miscellaneous during the summer, right?
Yeah, but each semester one is there's an idea or a concept that is taught during that semester. It goes into a quilt, but the different techniques and all of that you can take and add it just to your to your toolbox of quilting. So usually, and they have a project to go with them. And then Quilt Club Week goes along with Premium Club if you're a Premium Club member. Now, Quilt Club Week, in its own little capsule, you can purchase it separately and do that. And in Quilt Club Week, it's lectures, seminars, quilt classes. It's structured and designed like if you were going to go to a quilt show. You see different vendors, little demos, you take a class, you take a lecture, you do a seminar. And it's, you know, like if you went to a quilt show, you know, you would either be there all day or multiple days depending on what you were doing. And so Quilt Club Week has live stuff during the week. It has all the recorded stuff. Like with Premium Club, we hone in and teach the square and a square and the signs of patchwork. With Quilt Club Week, we add a few other things to it. Little, you know, more little, I hate to say crafty, but not just big quilts and focusing in on the knowledge. Yeah, we do. Applique, machine, oh yes, machine quilting, I forgot. Kathy does all of these wonderful machine quilting classes where you take just your regular tabletop machine and do it. And she's going to teach some applique on your machine this year. And then Kay is the one that goes in and teaches you how to make stuff that you would want to use by your sewing machine or take on retreat, or how to organize and some of that. And then Sherry comes in and helps teaches a quilt, you know, from beginning to end. Like Sherry and I are teaching the bride's vase on that one. And then I have my classes where I do lectures and completed, like this one, show you from start to finish on that.
Some live and
Some live, some recorded.
And
we usually open each day with a live and kind of tell you what is, so like Wednesday night is like early bird. So we do an early bird, which is like, that's when we like open the whole, I guess I'm going to call it a website, open the whole modular website for you so that you can go in and start looking. I usually do a lecture that day and then tell you about, and so that way you have that day to make sure you know how to navigate and do everything. And then like on Thursday, we will have all of Thursday's classes and lectures loaded for that day. They all go all at once, and it's like opening the doors to a quilt show. You can go over there and watch that lecture, or go over there and take that class. You can do them in any order that you want. And then on the next day, like Friday, we open the new classes for Friday, but you can also go back and watch Thursday and Wednesday because they're online. And then, of course, and then Saturday, we have classes and lectures that are taught on Saturday. And then, of course, you can go back and watch the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on all of that. So it's a lot of fun. We even have like a little download where you can print off and put it like on your sewing room door where it says Quilt Club Week, do not disturb. People cook up stuff and put it in the freezer so that they don't have to, you know, worry about cooking and meals and grocery shopping and all that, so that you can just really hone in on your quilting time during that. It's like if you went to like Houston or Paducah or whatever and you were gone like 3 days, you know, you just really focus and hone in on what you enjoy and love.
you really do have to save the date.
You do save the date, yeah. You can go in and watch it later. You can go in and watch it, but you know, part of the excitement and fun is doing it that week with everybody else.
And Premium is live for the current semester, and then it
Yes, during
part of the-
Premium Club, like for Premium Club, we have classes at 11 o'clock on Monday, and that's your new class. And then, of course, it's online, so you can go back in and watch it anytime. But when I teach it live, then as I'm doing it, you get to go in and ask questions and you know, during that live time. Occasionally, I have to be gone on a Monday at 11 o'clock. We have a recorded class, but 9 out of, I think this year we had 15 classes, and I think only one was a recorded class. So only when we have a conflict and have to. Other questions?
I don't see any.
Join the email so that you can know about the warehouse clean out that we're going to have. We have another fabric line that we will show later in the summer. It's called We the People. That's the one that just snuck in at retreat. So in the spring each year we do a retreat, and it goes from a Wednesday morning to a Sunday morning, and we had 30 this year at retreat, and really nice facility, lots of fun. We have Kay and Kathy and teachers there to help during the time. It's not, I mean, you can bring your projects to work on, but we have little breakout classes throughout the day. It's a lot of fun, and it's premium club members, so you get to meet other members. They come from Canada and Alaska and Phoenix and Iowa and Minnesota and Georgia and California. They come from all over, Texas. And so it's really a great time to meet your fellow Premium Club. And then we also have just the Facebook page for Premium Club, where you can go in and show your projects and ask questions, and just, it's kind of like your own little guild, your own little Premium Club Square and a Square Guild. So it's really a fun time and very educational, something that you can look forward to and do at your own sewing, you know, in your own sewing room. You don't have to gather everything up and go. Another question?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so go in and join your email. We'll be doing other lives as we move on through the summer, and that way you won't miss out on anything. Go to squareandasquare.com and sign up for Quilt Club Week or Premium Club. Remember, if you sign up for Premium Club, Quilt Club Week comes with it, and don't miss out on the new hybrid fabric. All right, is that it? Okay, bye for now. Enjoy your day and